Hello, we have with us Chetan Sheth, CIO of Greatship India Limited. We had been hearing about this new concept called virtual private cloud, and we wanted to just tap into Chetan's insights on how he's looking at it and what he's doing with it. Thank you so much, Chetan, for joining in.
Pleasure.
So, as I said, briefly, just wanted to understand what's your take to this new concept we have been talking about, virtual private cloud. I think another word for hybrid in a better way. Well, what's your take to it? How are you looking at it? And if you have been moving on to it, then what is making that move happen?
Cloud per se has been in existence for quite some time.
Exactly.
Even we have moved on to cloud. So we adopted cloud a few years ago. What brings us to the VPC kind of thing? What we were trying to figure out was that there are two sets to the cloud. One is a public, the other is a private cloud.
Private, correct.
While both have their benefits, there are still some gap that one needs to address.
Absolutely.
When it comes to those. While we were evaluating, we had undertaken a migration of our core system, which is SAP. While we were evaluating that, we had definite ways to look at it, and we did evaluate from that point of view. So while we were exploring the regular on-prem approach and the public cloud approach and the private, we came upon, or this is what kind of that came forward to us.
The offering.
We were told about VPC as a concept. Initially, we were a little skeptical because you haven't really heard much.
Understandably so.
While we want to be, as a company, we want to be at the edge of technology. We don't want it to be at a cost than something.
True.
Margin plus something, then it becomes a problem because it really is not. Then the TCO, ROI, everything is skewed.
Correct.
So we were a little careful about adopting, but while exploring during the stage of our analysis and while we were really going a little bit deeper into it, we started realizing that it makes sense. It makes sense because there are few things other than the normal. See, capex to opex, on demand, scale up, scale down, everything fine. It works as a concept. It's there everywhere in every part of cloud.
Correct.
What made sense a little bit more to us from our business context is the hardware is identifiable. So if tomorrow, because our industry is regulatory in nature, and we also have a well-formed risk committee which covers information security as well. If there is any demand from auditors or anything tomorrow, which is that we would want to see, that is, it's identifiable.
Right.
All other elements are taken care of. The security is there. All your models are very much fine, but at the same time, it allowed us the really required hybrid way of working. The SAP piece, the ECC we are migrating while we are migrating HANA onto that. But all our associated systems, they are still going to continue for some time in the way they exist today.
Okay.
Which means that we wanted a provider or a way of working which would allow a phase-wise transition.
Without actually breaking the loop.
Without breaking the loop, with as less downtime as possible.
Right.
Yeah, and as minimum learning on either side, on the technology side for our IT team, and also for the user,
the
user experience and everything. So which we thought we found here.
Interesting.
And that kind of thing. So it's a bit detailed answer, if but then yes, a lot of thought went behind it. That's what I'm trying to bring out. Yeah.
Considering a lot of thought went behind when you were actually moving on to it, have you given a thought on how do you want to leverage it further? Right now you said that SAP is moving on to it and there is existence with the legacy or the other infrastructure or the applications. How do you plan to take it further?
Right. Now, what we have outlined for ourselves is we allow some cooling period. Once this, once our migration is already started, it's underway. Once it kind of settles down, it will hit the road. I mean, it will become live.
Right.
The whole organization will kind of get onto the new way of working.
Right.
Whatever are the teething issues from the organization, I mean the business users point of view, with respect to primarily with respect to system, the changes,
correct.
Those will be settled down first. Then once the cooling is really happened, we will start looking at which are the pieces which will now go in naturally well with what is settled in. So can I move the whole remaining stack and one go, or do I need to again have phase 2 and phase 3?
Fair enough.
Kind of an approach. But it will be well structured, it will be well thought of, so that there is readiness on either side.
Correct.
It goes beyond us and even beyond providers. There are several other elements, as you know, in any technology migration that place. So we would want to check the readiness of everything and then move on. What matters for us, since it's going to revolve around SAP, whether there is what kind of a, I won't say involvement, but what kind of a readiness is there. For example, we did confirm that this VPC, is SAP certified.
Correct.
In the sense, so that matters to us.
Correct.
That speaks quite a few things, and that really settles us.
Gives
down.
the assurance as well, right?
So that's where we are coming from. It will be phased out properly. We're not going to rush into it for sure.
Right.
So that's how
Perfect.
typically it will be.
Makes sense. You'll be taking cool calculated steps to this, but you see a lot of promise which is coming across on this.
Certainly we do. That's in fact why we have taken this move.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
My
much
pleasure.
for sharing the
My
journey.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Pleasure.